friends, I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to read a book called Huggley's Thanksgiving Parade. So I don't know if you've ever seen one on TV before, but usually every year there's something called a Thanksgiving parade where a bunch of people come together and they watch these big balloons and people sing songs. So that happens. It's called the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. And sometimes we can watch it on TV. And unfortunately, this year, because if a lot of people come together, they might get sick with the sickness called COVID that's happening right now. We're not going to have the Thanksgiving Parade, so you might not see it on your TV. But you can always watch YouTube or TV and watch old Macy's Thanksgiving parades, and hopefully there'll be one next year. But this story is about Huggley's Thanksgiving Parade. So even if you can't watch the parade, maybe you can watch old videos of it or just listen to Miss Klein's story about Huggley's Thanksgiving Parade. So there's the title page, Huggley's Thanksgiving Parade. There's Huggley and his friends. Huggley loved playing tag with his friends, Booter and Grubble. "Tag, you're it, Grubble," yelled Huggley. "Hey guys," said Booter, "don't you think we've gone too far from our secret slime pit?" So there they are. Huggley and Grubble looked around. "Yeah," said Grubble, "I don't recognize this place." "Hey," said Huggley, "look down there." The three friends gazed down a side tunnel. They looked down the tunnel. What is that? They followed it and entered an open cavern with many hatchways in the ceiling. So with a lot of holes in the ceiling. They knew that hatchways always open underneath beds in the people world. So these are monsters and they might go into the people world. So our world, the people world, crazy. "We gotta check this out," Huggley whispered. "Yeah, no kidding," said Grubble. "Okay," said Booter, "but then we go back home." What happens if they go in the people world? Huggley led his friends up steps in the middle of the cavern. They climbed up from under a bed in a huge room filled with beds. "Where are we now?" asked Huggley. Booter saw a sign. "I've heard about places like this," she said. "People get their beds and other stuff here." So where do you think they might be? It looks like it says sale. Maybe it's a mattress or furniture store with a bunch of different beds. What are they doing? Are they making a good choice? I don't know. They're jumping on the bed. They could get hurt like those monkeys that jumped on the bed, right? "Tag, you're it," Huggley yelled Grubble. Huggley chased after both of his friends. They leapt from bed to bed, bouncing and laughing themselves silly. Suddenly they heard noise, music, and voices. Huggley hurried to a window. "What's going on out there?" he said. Booter and Grubble hurried over to look. They could see tall buildings outside. The buildings, crowds of people hurried every which way. Many were dressed to look silly. Others were starting to play music. So what do you think they might be looking at? Maybe a parade? See the big turkey? And balloons and all the people? "It looks like they're getting ready for a big party," said Huggley. "Yeah," said Grubble. "Let's join them." "But we aren't supposed to be seen by people," said Booter. "We might get caught." "Some of those people are dressed to look like creatures," said Huggley, "so maybe they won't notice us." So maybe they won't see the monsters. Maybe they'll just think they're dressed up in costume like we dressed up in costumes on Halloween. See all the people dressing up? The three friends hurried downstairs to a door that led outside. Huggley, Booter, and Grubble walked among the busy people. No one paid them any attention. They found a pile of dress-up clothes. Many people were grabbing things to wear. By the time they reached the pile, there were only hats left for the three monsters. "Hey, you!" said a booming voice behind them. "Oh no," thought Huggley, "we've been caught." They turned around, holding their breath in fear. A big people guy was standing there. "You looking for something to wear?" he said, handing each of them a shoulder bag. "Wear these, and during the Thanksgiving parade, walk beside one of those floats and throw candy to all the children you see." He walked away. So they have to throw candy. That seems kind of fun. There's the big turkey and pumpkin. This is called a balloon or a float. The three monsters let out a deep breath. "Whew," said Booter. "That was close." "What's a parade?" asked Grubble. "I don't know," said Huggley. He pointed at a line of decorated vehicles. "Maybe those things make a parade." People were climbing onto the Thanksgiving parade floats. More people dressed alike were lining up and testing their musical instruments. Booter, Grubble, and Huggley walked around looking at all the wonderful sights. So that one's kind of cool. It looks like a castle. That's a cool float. Huggley dropped farther and farther behind his friends. He gazed at a particularly beautiful float. Suddenly, Huggley realized that he was standing alone in the middle of some kind of colorful, wrinkly stuff. He heard a hissing sound, and the stuff started to billow up around him. Huggley tried to run, but he tripped over a rope and fell on his face. Poor Huggley. Before Huggley could get up, he felt himself being lifted off the ground. Oh no. Look, he's in the air. "Booter, Grubble, help!" cried Huggley, but Booter and Grubble couldn't hear him. Huggley went higher and higher. He realized he was on top of something that was rising towards the sky. Booter and Grubble waved, but Huggley was too scared to let go and wave back. That's pretty scary. He's way up high. He's scared he's gonna fall. Below, the musicians were marching. They started playing music. The floats began rolling. The parade started moving down the street. People were cheering. So look at the boat float and the dog balloon. Pretty cool. And there is little Huggley on that giant balloon. The thing Huggley was sitting on top of stopped rising and started moving. People on the ground were pulling it with ropes below. Booter and Grubble wondered what to do. So there's all the people holding on so that the balloon doesn't fly away. Huggley held on tight and sailed between tall buildings. He was beginning to enjoy himself. Never had he seen so many happy people. He saw more of the big things pulled by ropes. Each one was different. There's all the different balloons. This one looks like Superman. So there he is waving to everybody. Suddenly, Huggley heard voices nearby. There were people in the windows of all the tall buildings watching the parade. When they saw Huggley, they waved at him and cheered. Huggley was delighted. Without thinking, he let go and waved back. Just then, a gust of wind blew. It shook the big floating thing. Oh no, hopefully he doesn't fall. Let's see. Oh no, he's falling. Huggley tried to grab hold again, but it was too late. He started sliding faster and faster. Then he was tumbling through the air. People in the windows and people watching from below all cried, "Oh!" They were scared. Look at them. They look scared. Poor Huggley. Below, Booter and Grubble had been tossing candy to children, but they were keeping an eye on Huggley. When he fell, they rushed this way and that way, trying to get in position to catch him. Finally, they climbed onto a float to get under Huggley. Just in time, he landed in their arms. Whoomp! The float caved in beneath them. The crowds of people cried, "Oh!" The parade stopped. The music stopped. The cheering stopped. Everyone held their breath. They were all so nervous for Huggley. And there they all are. Oh no, it looks like they crashed through the float. Finally, Huggley, Booter, and Grubble struggled out of the hole in the floats. They were okay. The crowds of people sighed. They were happy they were okay. Then everyone cheered louder than ever. They shouted, "Good show! Bravo!" Everyone waved. The monsters waved back. Music started and the floats rolled down the street once again. "Thanksgiving parades are fun," said Huggley. "I agree," said Grubble. "Me too," said Booter. There they all are, waving to everybody on the float. When the parade was over, the three friends dropped what they were wearing and escaped into the building with all the beds. They dived under the bed in the middle of the room. Once they were back in the monster world, they sat down to catch their breath. "I have something for you both," Huggley said to his friends. He opened his hands and candy spilled out. "I know we're not supposed to take people's stuff, but they were giving it away to everybody." Yummy candy. "Thank you," said Grubble. "I didn't get to eat anything during the parade." "Yeah," said Booter. "Thanks." "No, I want to thank you," said Huggley, "for saving me. You will always be my best friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you." So that was a good story all about Huggley's Thanksgiving parade. Thank you for listening.